So there are very few topics in admin. I want to go through with all these concept. So if you know something, we can skip those concepts, right? Because this is very essential, right?
Yeah. Okay.
And that will save our time, and also you can share your thought on this. So this training will go like on two bases. First, there will be a theory, right? I will
Hmm.
tell you the theory, and then there will be an implementation part, right?
Okay.
So you have to implement it in your system by sharing your screen. I will guide you, and you will be implementing those things, right?
Okay.
And after implementing those things, we will complete the session for today or any time. Let's say any day, right?
Okay.
So first 40 minutes will be a theory part, and then remaining time will be a practical part, right?
Okay.
Okay. Okay, thank you. So there are not much, but if you are aware of how much you are aware of Salesforce admin concept, if you can say.
I'm just starting it with the admin part. Some you know,
Mhm,
I've been watching some of the videos. I'm
mhm,
not very much hands-on with the admin stuff at the moment because I didn't get a chance to work in a professional environment. So this is more of like just training part. So
mhm.
it's good we are starting with admin.
So before I give you a demo of B2B, how does the B2B commerce of looks, I would like to give you a proper understanding of uh, how the system works, right? So first, there are few org which we say scratch org, right? Like developer org, sandboxes
Yeah.
in the Salesforce ecosystem. So sandboxes are replica of developer org. So what we will do, we will using a developer org instead of sandboxes, which you can create by going to developer.salesforce.com, right?
Yeah.
There
I
you have
already.
to, yeah.
Yeah.
So okay. So
Mm.
for now, there are few parts of Salesforce admin, and that is common through across all the cloud of Salesforce, right? Not specific to B2B commerce. It is if you are working on service cloud, sales cloud, or even you are working on revenue cloud, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then you will be getting the same concept of admin, right? Because this is related to a core dependency of Salesforce. So Salesforce, whole Salesforce cloud is dependent on this concept, these concepts, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So there are few doubts that with the new freshers, new students, right? That why we need admin concept in B2B while we can go through that. At the end of the day, the B2B is completely configuration of the Salesforce, right? You will configure the settings, you will be configuring the users, profiles, permission sets, and let's say sharing rules, right? So
Mm-hmm.
these all concepts comes under the Salesforce admin, not in the B2B commerce. Let's say
Okay.
you are working on Salesforce users, right? So you might have different user for Salesforce B2B commerce or maybe a B2C commerce or service cloud, right? But the concept will remain same. Creating a user, giving access to user, permission set, giving access to profile, field level security, all will be same for across the cloud, right? So when we talk about B2B commerce, it completely builds on few specific Salesforce admin processes. Let's say there are users, permission sets, and flows, right? Flows are very essential for B2B commerce. If you will learn further, you will be implementing many flow related to B2B commerce workflow, right? Let me go to the first thing, that is user profile and permission sets. So, are you aware of users? What are users in Salesforce and profiles and permission set?
In some of the videos, yes, I seen some of the user creation and admin, a CEO, CEO, or a CFO, or a
Mhm.
sales guy, or the service cloud
Right.
team have multiple different types of records access based
Mhm.
on their roles. But
Roles, right? Yeah.
yeah, I just seen it into the videos, so I get some of the concept, but I haven't implemented it yet.
Okay. Okay, so that's fine. That's completely fine. Before I go through that, let me just quickly share you one thing, so you will better understand. Let me log in into my org. I'll share it with you. Give me a second. Okay. I hope you are able to see screen of my Salesforce org, right?
Yes, I can.
So a typical Salesforce org, this is completely AI enabled, agent force enabled, right? So it looks like this. And if you go to setup, right? You can
Yeah.
go setup from here.
Mm.
And how do you come here? You can create your org using
Developer dot servers.
developer.salesforce.com, right?
Yeah.
Here, you can get a developer edition org from here.
Yeah, I already have one.
Okay. So here you will be having going to
Ye-
user, right? And you
Yeah.
will see users here, right? So if you see, give me a sec. If you see, there are multiple users by the name, right? Let's say these are inbuilt users. So you are saying a specific inbuilt name, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there are specific profile, system administrator, analytics, cloud integrated user, right?
Mm-hmm.
Chatter user, right? So these are the user who have access to this specific uh, org, right? They can log in. So specific highly profile is system administrator. If someone is system administrator, they can view all across the org, right? You can
Okay.
create a new user from here and you can name it like Hassan
Mm-hmm.
and last name is required. Just remember the red mark field are required, right?
Yeah.
So Hassan, I'll say Hassan Berlin, right? That's fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you can give a name of uh, Hassan, let me, Hassan LMS
Mm-hmm.
at blockmail.com, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then your username will be set like this.
Okay.
Okay. Here you see there are few things: title, company, department, division. These are a let's say
Op-
introductory field, right?
Optional fields.
Yeah, you can always say optional or
Mm.
introductory. Basically,
Mm.
the more information about the user, right?
Yeah.
But you see, there are roles. If you go to the role, there are multiple roles: CEO, CFO, channel sales team, customer support, right? And
Mm-hmm.
these roles are in a hierarchy, right?
Mm-hmm.
The hierarchy is the CEO will be able to view all the records which are granted to him, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he can also view all the records below the roles, right? CEO can view the record of CFO and sales team, right? He can view all the record of director. I mean, any role below him, he can view the record of that person, right?
Mm-hmm.
Likewise, CFO cannot view the record of CEO, right? But
Mm-hmm.
can view record of CFO and below the roles, right? Any roles below him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Same goes for any roles you can pick up. For Eastern sales team, they cannot view the record of above roles, but they can view records of their own and below their roles, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So for now, let me assign him a CEO. Here comes a license. So what is license? Salesforce completely works on license, right? Otherwise, it is completely free to work on. So
Mm-hmm.
Salesforce provide a limited license to work on. Let's say 10 license for B2B commerce user, 10 license for Salesforce user, external user, identity user, right?
Okay.
So I can give any license to that person who is in this, but each license has their purpose, right? So
Mm-hmm.
let me go through one by one. So Chatter external user is someone who have external access to Chatter. You know what is Chatter? If you go to app launcher and type here Chatter, right? You see Chatter, Salesforce Chatter, right?
Okay.
This Salesforce Chatter is something kind of WhatsApp channel. You see,
Okay.
you get all the notification of getting booking or delivering an opportunity, or let's say there is a case, everything will be posted into the chatter. and
Okay.
user with his chatter license can only see this chatter. He cannot able to see any of this, right? When he will
Mm-hmm.
log in, he will automatically forward it to Salesforce chatter page, right?
Mm. Okay.
Likewise, each of license has their own use cases. For now, if I am going to provide a Salesforce license, that's mean you can log in and view all these things I am viewing, but you don't have profile assigned. Let's say I'll assign a system administrator profile to you. So now
Mm-hmm.
you can log in and view all those things which I am viewing right now. So everything you can view here, everything you can edit, everything you can read, any record, right? Right,
Okay.
for a system administrator profile. But if I provide you a standard user, so it is a normal user profile. You cannot have access as a admin profile, but you will
Mm.
have access to view the record, right? You
Okay.
can view the user record. Like if
Mm-hmm.
you log in, you can view, yes, there is a username this, but you cannot edit it. You cannot
Okay.
remove it, right?
Okay.
So I have given you CU role, Salesforce user license, and standard user.
Mm-hmm.
Now these
I have
are,
quick
yeah.
question on that.
So sure.
Based on the user license selection, the profiles are being shown or are they independent fields?
Okay. So if you go to Chatter external, right? You see,
Mm-hmm. Ah, okay. So they are dependent. Okay.
yeah. So they are dependent picklist value. So basically, if you go to let's say, what is the purpose of license and profile? Let me explore it, right? So license is something which is parent record, you can say parent
Okay.
controller field, right?
Yeah.
So
Okay.
let's say you have license of Salesforce, right? Once you
Mm-hmm.
have license of Salesforce, you get a certain level of access. So let me give you license of Salesforce.
Yeah.
Now you have certain level of access.
Mm-hmm.
You can be any of these profile, any of these profile. Each profile have their access, and
Okay.
you can view any of these roles. Now, if I
Okay.
change the chatter external, see, chatter external user doesn't require a role because he is not part of this Salesforce. He is an external user, right?
Okay.
Let me go to Einstein agent. Once I switch to Einstein agent, I have one profile, Einstein agent user. So what does
Mm-hmm.
that mean? Let me tell you that if I provide you license of Einstein agent, then only you can view the Einstein agent. When you will log in to the Salesforce, right? You will be
Mm-hmm.
automatically redirected to Einstein agent.
Okay.
Okay, I haven't enabled it. So it
Mm-hmm.
need to be enabled. I just created this all right.
Okay.
So it need to be enabled. So once you enable the Einstein agent, the
Mm.
user will be going directly to the Einstein agent page, and
Okay.
you can assign the roles accordingly.
Okay. So their dashboard will be accordingly to these roles and
Right,
profiles.
correct,
Okay.
correct. And,
Okay.
you are aware of dashboard and reports, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. A bit,
Yeah.
but I haven't, tested everything, but I have high level concepts.
Okay, okay, fine. I was not using this word. I thought I
Yeah.
haven't gone through it. So thank you for
Yeah.
telling me. Okay,
Yeah.
so I'll just give you a standard user for now and
Mm.
creating this. Now, these only fields are required, but there are timeline. Timeline means, let's say, uh, image, yeah, here, time zone, right? So let's
Right.
say you are in Berlin. So what is the time zone here? You can set
Just
accordingly. I'm leaving it as it is.
okay.
So uh, that should not be a problem. So remember that whatever time zone is that, when you create a record, right? Let's say you
Mm-hmm.
are in Berlin, right? But your time zone is set to US time zone, right?
Yeah.
Now you are creating a record. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the record you created will be stamped with the same time which is in the user setting, right?
Yeah.
So
Okay.
let's say you create a contact on the Salesforce with a time zone in America, USA, right?
Mm. Yeah.
So that record will have a created by field, right? Created by and created at time, right? That time will be stamped as it is. USA time, right? So
Yeah.
always remember, if you are working in some specific region, so you should always set up this time according to you. Why? So you
Mm.
will keep track of the records. Most people don't do it because they it is just getting that you can just convert the time accordingly, right? So you can
Mm.
easily go to Google and convert it. Let's say 7 a.m. in USA. It will be what
Mm.
time in Pakistan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically, in the same way, if you, it is a easier way to switch it to the specific time you are working. So what will happen then? It will just stamp the correct time on the record, right? So easier to track.
Okay.
Then email encoding, you don't have to do anything here until your admin, who is the IT department team, ask you to do so. So leave it as it is. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Here, this is an important field in billing and CPQ approval. Let's say there is a code, right?
Okay.
It is not related to B2B commerce. Pharma. I'm just telling you, so you know. This is something where if you assign, if I'm approval or delegated approval, so you will receive every email. Let's say you are CEO and some
Mm.
CFO is out of office, right? So
Okay.
he assigned you a delegated approval on her
Okay.
on his behalf or on her behalf, right?
Okay.
So whenever someone requests a approval, the email automatically comes to you instead of
Okay.
going to him, right?
Mm. Okay.
So this is the user command, and if I click on save, it create an email,
A new
right?
record will be created under users object.
Right, under user object.
Yeah.
And two things to mention, right? This is a setup object, right?
Mm.
Users is a setup object.
Yes.
Let me look at object.
And
You
these
see,
are the
there are, yeah,
schemas.
these are the schemas, correct.
Yeah.
In Salesforce, the schemas are referred as object, okay?
Yeah.
So object is nothing but a table of Excel, you can see, right?
Yes.
Let me go to the account. Each object is a header of table and each table have their own column, account
Yeah.
name columns, number columns. So
Yeah.
these column name doesn't referred by this label, but the name, right? This
Yeah.
called API name, right?
Yes.
So these API names are the ones which will be referred using the uh, this field name. Let's say you want to access account name, so you will be not writing account name because this is a level. You will be writing name, right?
Yes.
So likewise for any other field, each field are column and each column has their own unique ID with a row, right? So let's
Yeah.
say the account name, account number, owner ID, site, all of these are column. And there will be a row for each of these details. I can show you live I'm here. So let's just install something. It is called. Okay.
Is this kind of an extension?
Yeah, right.
Okay.
This is a much concern. Okay. I'm using Mozilla. I'll just maybe something else. Okay. I will be telling you right after when it is
Okay.
required, right? So
Okay.
what you understand till now, you understand user profile and the objects. I haven't done object yet. So
Mm.
continuing on that, object are two types, right? There are three types actually, but mainly two types, right?
Yeah.
First
Standard
one is
and custom one?
yes, and third type is junction object. You have heard about junction object or not?
No, I haven't.
Okay. So junction object is a object which connect two object, right?
Okay.
But as part of self is a singular object itself, right? It is a
Okay.
not any type of relationship with the other two, but it connect those two objects. For example, product and price book, right?
Yeah.
Product and price book are two objects, but
Mm.
price book entry is a junction object of product and price book. Okay, so I can show you.
Perfect. Yes.
If you go to product two, the API name is product two. Currently, it is here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if I go to price book, I don't know if it is enabled or not because this is a new or it is enabled, right? Here, price book too, right? And
Mm-hmm.
the price book entry, it is showing as standard object, but this object is a junction object between price book 2 and product 2, right?
Yes.
So let's say I have something, let's say I want to track an order, right? On B2B commerce. I want
Mm-hmm.
to track an order with some different schemas, right? Let's say we want to create uh order which have specific gold user order, right? Like gold buyers. There are premium buyer, gold buyer, and let's say
Okay.
platinum buyers on our B2B store. So we
Mm-hmm.
want to track only premium buyer or gold buyer, right? So
Mm-hmm.
we have to create a custom object to do so, right?
Mm-hmm.
We can create a custom object or we can clone any of this object, right? But usually we don't have to clone. These all are standard object. How do we create the custom object? We have to create
Yes.
and we click on custom object. Let's say I have to create a object called apex, not the apex, that will be uh, let's say B2B or B2B coded products. Okay. B2B products. And in Uber level, we will be give me sorry.
That's fine.
So yeah. So always remember to click if you start with vowel or not, right? So B2B is constant. So consonants are okay. Okay.
What does it mean by vowel?
So it is just for the purpose of computer understanding, right? So
Okay.
when we say start with vowel sounds, means it start with, let's say if I say all B2B are correct, right? Now it start
Yes.
with A, which is vowel. It
Yeah.
need to
Okay.
check. Okay.
Okay.
And then you can put a description like okay. Here you don't have to change anything. This is a little advanced topic. So when you will learning visual force, you can use that thing.
Okay.
Okay. So what does that mean? Record name. So this is something called auto-populated field. You can make it auto-populated like 001 and next record will be created at 002, right?
Mm-hmm.
Automatically. So this is a tracker field. You can use that product name, B2B products name or B2B product.
Okay.
Here you can allow reports. If you allow the reports, you can go to reports. Okay? And when you will create a new report, right?
Okay. I haven't created any reports, so I don't know much about reports.
Okay, I'm just giving you example
Mm.
how. So you will see these objects are showing here. These are
Yeah.
report type actually.
Okay.
So you can create a new report type, right? Once you allow the user, allow one custom object to uh, pop up in the reports field, right? Allowing the report on the custom object, right? You can
Mm-hmm.
say track field history. What it will do? It will do when someone makes changes on the field of this object, it will
Okay.
log as a history, right? Let's say you change the name of a product. So
Mm-hmm.
once you go to field history, it will say Hassan has changed the name of the product at this time, right?
Okay.
Allowing chatter group. So once you allow the chatter group, anyone can talk about this object in the chatter group, right? I
Okay.
saw you chatter group. Allow activities. Once you allow the activity, it you can say there is an activity app. where you can follow up creation, deletion, reboot, or let's say price book changes, different type of activity. You can say you can give a track on those things. Right?
Okay.
Okay, allow search. Let's say on the here you search for something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here. So if you allow the search, the object will also get searched in case of someone searching something, right? It will be part of that search.
Okay.
Okay, what is this? This is important thing. Once you check this, this means you are creating a app out of B2B project, B2B out of this object, B2B product object, right? So
Okay.
you can search it here, B2B. Currently, it is not created. So once you type B2B, it will pop.
Mm.
It will be shown here under this, right?
Okay.
Let me click on. Because I checked that last thing, it will ask to create a tab. So I can
Okay.
just go to chalkboard and I can choose any color, any style, right?
Okay.
And name it object video. I can give a description, test, first one, right. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And once I am done with it, I can click on next. So you don't have to switch to here because if you switch to here, it will ask you to select all these things where you
Mm-hmm.
want to show. So these are profile, right? If
Yeah.
you want this object to not visible to a user, you can just easily apply a different tab visibility for each profile, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Otherwise, you can just go for all profile you'll be able to see.
Okay.
And this is a include tab. Now, if I this is created, right? Now, if I search for B2B, see B2B products came here, right? Till now, you have learned about profile, user, and objects, right? Is there any question on this?
No, I'm pretty much clear. The only thing I have one question is the underscore C I have seen, and I know a bit concept of this that this API name is a custom field. The question about the standard object and the custom object is, can we create the custom field into the standard object, or it only be created into the custom object?
No, okay. So this you see underscore. What does that mean? Because you cannot have space in API name, right? So
Yeah.
it will replace all these spaces with the underscore. Okay. And
E-
the underscore C means this is a custom object, right?
Okay.
All the custom object will be appended with underscore C, double underscore C. Okay. But if there is a standard object, it doesn't have this underscore C.
Okay.
Let me so.
Okay. So whatever is custom, either it's an object or either it's a field,
Mhm,
it
mhm.
should have a underscore C.
Correct. Correct.
Okay.
And also you can see the standard object doesn't have any underscore C appended, right?
Perfect. Okay.
So also you can see this is a custom object and it is created on date and it this check means this is a deployed.
Okay.
All the standard object by default deployed, so it is doesn't show the check for the custom object. Just so okay.
Okay.
Okay, fine. Now on the B2B product object which we created just now, there are multiple things to go through, right? On the object, right?
Okay.
Field and relationship. So these three fields are by default, and this is created to track the name of that object on during the object creation, right? So for, you can
Okay.
say these four fields are by default created when you create a new object, right? You
Mm-hmm.
can create a field from here. I
Mm-hmm.
will go through it in further session.
Okay.
Page layouts. What are page layouts? So each object has page layout, right? How?
Mm-hmm.
So let's say, let me open some record, right? Let me open a record. I don't know if I have any record. And let me create a new opportunity, which I'll name as,
Mm-hmm.
or I can use the same object I created. First, let me create a field here. Give me a second. So I can show you in a more specific way how we are doing. Let me create a field, and what that field will be text field, right? Type of field will be text. You don't have to worry about this now. I will be explaining later. Okay.
Okay.
So okay. Or you can say product field. You can define that 155, mostly 255, max to max. You can define this should be not required. You can say require. If this is tick, this means this field is required. You cannot save the record without hook, right?
Okay.
And if you say this is a unique, that means this you cannot have duplicate record with this field name. I can show you. And then if you check unique, it say treat capital and small as duplicate, treat capital and small as different. So if you check the first option, it will treat capital and small as different value. Let's say you have written Hassan in capital and you
Mm-hmm.
written Hassan in small, then it will treat it is not a duplicate, right? But if you
Okay.
check this second option, it will it will say it will treat it as a different value, right?
Yeah.
Kind of this. I have written told you first and second one after another.
Okay.
Okay. Fine. Here, this is a field level security. I want to visible this field for all. Okay. Don't check read only. If you check the read only, the user cannot edit edit that field, right?
Okay,
Uh,
one quick question is when you are actually assigning the user level permission, but we
mhm.
have only 4 or 5 users, but I can see there are a lot of users being shown over here. Is this something the profile roles or is this something the users?
This is profile, not
Okay,
user.
okay. So these are profiles. Okay, got it.
Now, let me refresh this. And here, if I go to 3 product, create a new, right? See
Yeah.
the B2 product name. I should let's say we will create a store of toys, right? We will
Okay.
sell toys. So let's say it's car. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And product code will be a car. Okay.
Okay.
Let us see. So you see this layout, right? Relate details and related layout where you see B2B product name, product code, right?
Yeah.
This layout is defined under product page layout, right?
Okay.
So if you go to product layout, here you see B2B product detail and in the information you see B2B product name, product code, right?
Mm-hmm.
You see here you product name and product code, right?
Perfect. Okay.
And then owner, right? Owner is also right here.
Mm-hmm. And last modified is as well there.
Yeah, in the system information,
Okay.
last modified is also there. So
Mm-hmm.
let me remove the product name from here.
Every time we have to remove, we have to drop it in the upper section.
Yeah, this is a draft
Okay.
bar. You can just drag and drop here.
Okay.
So I removed the product code, which is here, product code from here,
Mm-hmm.
and uh, stored it into draft, right? Let me see. Now save it, and if I refresh this,
Mm.
wait a second.
What's the difference between quick save and save?
Quick save. When you click on quick save, it will save, but it will remain on the same screen, right? Once you
Okay.
save, it will go back. It is showing because of some cookies. I have to clear that cookie.
Okay.
Request this. See, product code is gone, right? Because I removed the product code and from here. If I re-add it back here, right,
Yeah.
and save it, I can again the cookie is because it, it needs to be clear. Why the cookie issue is here? Because server doesn't go back to database each time in Salesforce. Usually it fetches from now the product code is came here, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Till now you are clear about page layout, object, custom object, standard object, user
Custom
accounts, right?
fields.
Custom
Yeah.
fields.
A bit more about profiles. Yes.
Right. Okay. All these things are here. So I will be going to validation rules directly. Why?
Mm.
These things will be explained during our B2B training
Mm.
further, right?
Okay.
So what are validation rules? Yes. Validation rules are something when evaluated to true, right?
Okay.
When the condition comes to true, outcome is true of the
Mm-hmm.
validation rules condition, then it will fire, it will trigger, right?
Okay.
And it will throw an error. So always remember it only throw an error when the condition is true,
Mm-hmm.
and
Okay.
all other thing will be explained further in episode. So let's say rule name. I will saying this. What should be the rule? Okay. Okay. So we should allow only. Let's say. I'll let me create another field for this, right? Otherwise, it will not make sense.
Okay.
So I'll create another custom field, and this will be a number field, right? Or you
Okay.
can say currency field.
Okay.
Okay. And I'll go to next. I quickly create this field. So I this will be the price.
Mm-hmm.
Decimal values. What is the decimal values? Whenever you will select currency or number, so it will have a decimal places. So this is the number of digit you want
Okay.
to track after the decimal. Let's say
Okay.
100.32 rupees or
Okay.
100.10 $10, $10, right? Anything.
Okay.
So if you don't go through that, usually it is two, so it will track two numbers after the decimal.
Yes.
I'm not making it require.
Mm-hmm.
So let me image it. Why this error come? Because you see this was 18, right? Previously. And this
Hmm.
is 2. So it is equals to 20, right?
Yeah.
It cannot be greater than 18, both sum. So I
Yeah.
will make it, let's say, 10.
Okay.
Usually 3 or 4 digit, but let's say it is 10.
Okay.
Again, I will be visible to all the users.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. This is
Now
a
it's part
pretty
of the
introductory.
layout.
Like it is part of the layout.
Okay.
If I refresh it,
The currency will be shown. Okay. Mm.
again the cookie is issue.
If we refresh the page with Control Shift R, will this
Mhm.
refresh and show? Mm.
If actually there is some cookies stored in background, right? So
Okay.
it doesn't refresh actually. It just pick the value from your system only, from the desktop
Okay.
cookies and easily paste it. Let me set a
Okay.
price here. Before setting a price, let me create a validation.
Okay.
In the validation rule, if I go to new and create a rule name, let's say price, sorry, price cannot be negative, right?
Okay.
Description, let me add this. Here, I
We
will
have
be
to.
inserting the field, which
Okay.
field?
Price field.
Price field. And I'll operate enter an operator less than 0.
Okay.
So if the price is
Whenever
less
the,
than 0,
yeah, the
okay,
validation rule will be fired.
yeah, it will be become true and validation rule will be fair. And we have to enter message.
Mm.
Price 10 less 0. Okay.
Okay.
And you can choose the error message where it will be shown, right? So
Okay.
top of page, that means the error will be shown here on the top
Okay.
of the page,
Okay.
right here.
Yeah.
But if you go to
The
field,
field.
it will be shown on the below the field, right? So I will be going to field, right?
Okay.
Which field you want to select? Price field.
Price. Okay.
And I'll create a save. Okay.
Nice. Okay. Yeah.
And if I go and add, let's say minus 50, anything, click
Mm-hmm.
on save, save.
Okay. Perfect.
So you have to make it positive. 50. Now let me see. It is saved. Okay.
Yeah. Perfect. One quick question about that. When we
Mm-hmm.
are actually creating a custom field, and I
Mm-hmm.
can still see there is a validation rule being fired that the length should not be greater than 18. Can we customize that as well? Or
No, that is
it's
the
a built-in?
standard
Okay, it's a
built-in.
standard
Yeah.
one. Okay.
So basically, we can say in Salesforce, there are limited customization on the fields which are part of standard process, right?
Perfect.
Let's say the flow, once we click on create, right?
Mm.
Because this is out of our hand. We cannot control anything. We just need to fill the value. We cannot say, hey, we don't want this. It
Okay.
always be strictly followed, right?
Okay. Okay.
Anywhere, if you want to follow the Salesforce setup process, it is
Mm.
not customizable. You can create
Okay.
a case with Salesforce. Hey, we need more digits. Then Salesforce can allow you how to raise the Salesforce case.
Mm.
Okay, once you click here, give me a second.
Okay.
Sorry for that. No. Okay,
It's fine. Okay.
so you understand that thing, right? I will be telling you somehow it is loading. Okay.
Yeah, I seen the cases in the trailhead stuff. I think that way we can create the cases or something.
Right, correct.
Uh,
Here there is a option to help, right? I
uh,
guess someone. This is Salesforce
yeah,
help.
this is the one. Yeah.
You can just go there and raise it. Yes.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
Right. So I hope these things are clear. Let me check if anything left in admin part. We covered user profile and
Mm-hmm.
remaining the permission set.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me go to permission set, right? What is permission set first of all? Are you aware
Um,
of that?
I just gone through the permission set yesterday. The
Hmm.
permission sets have been created to define some rules and then assign it to some profile. Instead of assigning rule permissions individually, we create permission sets and then assign that permission set to some specific profiles so that uh, the profile can act accordingly. I
Okay,
think.
so let's understand it in layman terms, right?
Okay.
How we define permission set is a way. Let's say Hassan comes to visit me, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And now because he comes to me, he don't have know anything, right? He just comes to me and say, hey, I need food. So I'll say, okay, let's go eat something, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you don't know where to eat, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I will give you a cheat. I will write, hey, this is the address. You can go here and eat, right? Or you can
Okay.
say, let's have party. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
I will give you an address and say, okay, see you there. So that cheat is something called permission set, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you get to there? Because of permission set. You don't
Yeah.
have access to that specific place, right? In
Yeah.
Salesforce, each profile has different access. Let's say a profile of sales user doesn't have access to view the record of someone with admin access, right? But he
Okay.
need to see that record. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Sales user need to see that record. So
Mm-hmm.
in permission set, we can create that access and give them leverage to see that record, even though their profile doesn't have access to see, right?
Okay.
I don't have created a profile, but I will be giving you example here. So see, there is I created a permission set. I cloned B2B commerce. Like this. Okay. So I created this. Let's say this is a permission set, buyer permission set, right?
Okay.
And I want a user to have permission set with, let's say, uh, a guest user to check out to the store.
Okay.
So for that, we cannot give their profile access, all the access, right? We can just clone it,
Mm-hmm.
right? And we can say buyer, buyer in custom PS, right?
Okay.
PS means commission center.
Mm-hmm. Where we can choose the permissions which are we going to. Okay.
No, on the creation we cannot, but after we create here, right?
Okay.
We
Okay.
go to that permission set, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here
Okay.
in here in the object setting,
Mm-hmm.
I want whoever have this permission to view the account, to read the account, right?
Mm-hmm.
But more of it, I want to give them access to create a record on account, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what I can do, I can go to edit that object inside the permission set. See, we don't have account name read access, edit access, but
Okay.
user cannot have all the access. So I will give read access to all the account field. He can
Mm-hmm.
view all the account and let's save it.
Mm-hmm.
So now who have this permission set have license to view all the fields. I will
Okay.
assign this permission set to any profile whichever profile have this permission set, they
Okay.
can view all the fields of account, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
You use the one term license. Does permission set known as license when we are actually
No,
creating a use?
each
Okay.
each permission set have license actually.
Okay.
This way. Okay, we do that. Let me clone another one, buyer manager, right? So see, here is a license, right?
Mm-hmm.
This license, if you go to I,
Mm-hmm.
so
Mm-hmm.
this is auto assign.
Okay.
Like this is a license basically. You
Mm-hmm.
don't have to worry about it. It is completely Salesforce thing. It will be auto assigned, auto managed, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not creating this clone right now, but we will require in future.
Okay.
So
Usually we
this
assign the permission only in object manager when you open a permission set and you go on through into like yeah open this and I can see the object setting do okay we can assign the others the
right,
app okay.
right. You in permission set, even you can assign system permission. That is
Mm-hmm.
to top level permission, right?
Okay.
Admin level permission. You can
o-
assign those things.
okay.
If I
Okay.
go here in the system permission, and we can edit it like right now, and we can see create, update, and delete contact point
uh,
address,
okay.
right? Something.
Okay.
And if I go back, so there is a multiple thing, and you can go to manage assignment. Now this permission set is not assigned to anyone, right?
Yeah.
See, but I can create a assignment here, and I will be assigning the, you can assign to the user, right here.
Mm-hmm.
Let me assign to Hassan,
Okay.
the user I created.
Okay.
Now Hassan can view all the records.
Okay.
Also, I can make sure that, oh, let's make sure that it will expire after some time. So
Okay.
let's give access for 1 day. It may happen that a sales user come to you and say, hey, I want to view the all the records of account because there is a bug inside system. I am
Mm-hmm.
not aware of this. Who created or anything, anyone. So you will
Okay.
be giving them 1 day access of the permission set and assign this. So they will be able to act on your behalf, right? They will
Okay.
have all the access as you, whatever you provide, right? For
Okay.
1 day, let's say I'll provide 1 day access. So if I assign
Mm-hmm.
now Hassan, if you okay, something happened. Okay, so to assign a permission set, the user license must match the uh, uh,
The
exact
permission set.
license of profile.
Okay.
Why this error come? Because we haven't enabled commerce yet, right?
Okay.
And once we enable the commerce, I'll creating a new profile that will be a B2B custom profile, right? And
Okay.
that profile have different license. Then I'll show you how to assign this, right?
Okay.
So you can do it like that, right?
A user can have multiple permission sets.
Definitely.
Okay.
Easier
Right.
to do that, you can assign it to profile. If you go to profile,
Mm-hmm.
I have a B2B commerce profile. Let me quickly B2B recording portal buyer request. Let's say this one, right?
Okay.
This profile is for B2B user. And here, okay, in this profile, I don't think this profile has supporting this. Give me a second. I go here, click on edit. Hmm. There is something changed actually. Okay, I will be talking about this later. Assigning the permission set to profile and users, right?
Okay.
Right. Okay. So, any question regarding permissions?
So far so good. Thanks.
Yeah.
No questions.
Okay. So now let's talk about flow.
Okay.
So flow, what is the flow? Like first we need to understand. You say mostly we say this is the flow of the process, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the flow is a step by step process, right? Which is
Mm-hmm.
defined, well defined, automated, and everything is processed in backend also. It is synced.
Mm-hmm.
It can be
Okay.
synchronous and asynchronous both.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, this flow is a process which is well defined, well structured, step by step to perform a task or to automate a task, right? When we go
Okay.
to new flow, there are multiple types of flow, and usually we use record triggered flow and screen flow. There is a scheduled flow, platform flow, right?
Mm-hmm.
Auto launch flow. Let me go one
Mm-hmm.
by one. The screen flow is something which we use when we need user to interact with the flow, right? Let's say you want to user to enter their mobile number or account number, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then you will create a screen flow because you need input from user, right?
Okay.
Only screen flow will be a flow which is interacting flow, right? It will interact with user. Only screen flow is that flow, right?
Mm-hmm.
Any other flow like record triggered flow, it will not interact with user unless there is a screen flow involved, right?
Okay.
So it will be triggered automatically, do the task and finish the task and automatically destroy the flow uh, runtime, right?
Are
Also
they
said
dependent on the screen flow
no,
or they are independent flows?
they are independent, they
Okay.
completely independent.
Okay.
Scheduled triggered flow is that you can schedule a flow at every night 11 a.m.
Okay.
Sorry, 11 p.m. So you
Mm-hmm.
can say, hey, today is the day, and run this flow to generate a total number of any performance. Let's say total number of order data and
Yeah.
update a field, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is scheduled. Platform event triggered flow is flow which we use in case of LWC components. We fire an event, right?
Mm-hmm.
That event will be cached by flow and it will be run. Or you can say this is mostly used by developers to perform or sync in between coding and flow, right? Let's say
Okay.
you fire an event from LWC. Are you aware of LWC components?
No.
Okay. LWC is basically coding base of Salesforce.
Mm-hmm.
I will be showing you LWC component in future.
Okay.
So this is a secret topic then. Auto
Okay.
launch flow. This will be auto launched from Apex, from REST API,
Mm-hmm.
and it will always run in background. You see, every flow except screen flow runs in background,
Okay.
right?
Okay. So
Record
they
triggered.
so they don't have any interface. They are like just created as a configuration or something.
Right. They don't have any interaction or interface with the user. User cannot see them,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
So screen flow, let me create a screen flow. I'll explain the record triggered flow in the screen flow. But
Okay.
okay, this is the starting of flow, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a flow can have these steps or component or element, right? You
Mm-hmm.
can add a screen or action. Let me add a screen. In the screen, you can give a label, welcome,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And description, you can say welcome screen,
Okay.
right? You don't have to define stage. You can go to here and say configure footer. Here you see pause button, previous finish. So I want to hide pause button. You can say hide pause and hide previous. You cannot go previous. And in this, you can add display. Here you can add component, right? Like display text. And here API name display message. And here you can enter. You cannot give space in display message. Hi, person. Okay,
Okay.
and you can click on done. So now when someone start this flow, you save it, save it, and save version one. This flow is created, and you if you go and click on run, see hi, so welcome,
Okay.
and you can click on finish to end this. Because this is a debug environment, you cannot finish here, but in the
Okay.
user, when you click finish, it will automatically close.
Okay.
So this is the flow, and same here record triggered flow. If I go on new flow, click on start from scratch, go to record triggered flow, and click on create. Now this is little different, right? This will ask you which object you want to create. So I will create on B2B product object, right? Which we have
Mm-hmm.
created. When you want to trigger this flow, a record is created, a record is updated, or record is created or updated, right?
Okay.
So what is the time you want to trigger this flow? Anytime record is created, anytime
Mm-hmm.
record is updated, or anytime record is created or updated. You can select any. Let's say we want to trigger this flow once the record is created or updated, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now here condition you have to add all condition, any condition met, custom condition, or a let's say formula available. You can say
Okay.
the field, and here I'll say price equals less than one, right?
Did you choose any object before running this on records? Okay.
Right.
Okay. Okay.
We first have to choose the object, and
Okay.
then we have to choose the event. When should this flow run?
Okay. So this only be running on the custom objects, or this can be run on the
Any,
standard?
any,
Oh,
any,
okay. Okay.
any,
Okay.
any
Makes
object.
sense. Okay.
Now I have selected a record is created or updated. Anytime
Mm-hmm.
the new record is created, I
Mm-hmm.
create a new record in B2B product. Let me go. If I create a new record, B2B product, it will update to the flow. It will run
Mm-hmm.
the flow. If I update this existing record, again it will run this flow, right?
Okay.
What
Yes.
I want to do now, I have to define the entry condition. When should this flow run? I want to run this flow when the price is less than $1, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll go to fast field update. What is the difference between fast field update and action and deleted record? Let me show it. So fast field update will be automatically update the field within the same object. Which object? B2B
B2B
product.
com. Okay.
But action and related record will be update the field related to B2B product object, right? Let's say there is a lookup field. Are you
Mm-hmm.
aware of lookup field and relationships?
I know the relationship, but not that lookup field.
Okay, no worries.
Uh,
So
it's a database concept. It's a simple relational schema
yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yes, yes.
Okay.
So I'll select fast field update and then I'll go and add here
Let's suppose
update
if
trigger.
if a foreign key exists in another object, then the other object is also like it will also update the other object entries, right?
No, you have to define that. No, you have to. I mean, you have to
Okay.
define this. you have to define the price. You are defining the price is less than dollar one. Then you
Okay.
are saying action and related record. Then you have to, once you go to here and click on update the record, related
Okay.
records, then you
Okay.
have to define the condition, which object, which field you want to update.
Okay.
So not all the object.
Okay. Okay.
Let me go to update triggering record, and there, once I say update
Mm-hmm.
price to $10,
Okay.
right? Each time price is one less than $1, it will be updating to $10, right? So
Mm-hmm.
something like that. Which field I want to update? Price field.
Mm-hmm.
What will be value? 10. I'll save this. What will be name? Price valuation low, right?
Okay.
Version 1. Click on save.
Mm-hmm.
Now click on activate. Now go to this record which we created, kids car record, right? So I want to enter the price here. Let's say $0 and click on save. See, $10.
Okay.
I cannot save this with $0. It will not
Okay.
throw an error. It will update this
Okay.
$10. Okay.
Makes sense. Okay.
Likewise, all the other flows are there. So you can go through all other flows. Uh,
Okay.
so what will be today's task for you?
Mm-hmm.
Give a second. Okay. Today's task for you is to go through the, you have to create a new object, custom object, right?
Okay.
With the field, the custom object should be named after, uh, you can say users, okay? This
Mm-hmm.
will be B2B users, okay?
Okay.
And you have to enter four field, at least four field. Username,
Okay. Mm-hmm. Email or
email, and you can say username, email, and
mm,
subscription. You can say subscription.
okay.
Subscription is a pick list value. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So
Okay.
subscription, let me show. You are aware of there is a different type. I want you to explore these type of field, right? If I go to
Okay.
B2B product
Okay.
here into field and relationship, I want
Mm-hmm.
you to create a new field
Mm-hmm.
and try to explain, except the relationship. Don't try relationships,
Okay.
right? Formula also, except first five, like there,
Okay.
here till the relationship. I want to explore these all options,
Okay.
right? So
So,
at least you have to create one, two, three. Think about that. At least 4 to 5 fields with
okay.
text field, phone field, number field, person, number field, email field, date field, and think about a name, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So object should be B2B user,
Mm-hmm.
and there is a required field that is subscription label, right?
Okay.
So subscription level will be picklist field, which
Mm-hmm.
have three values: premium,
Mm-hmm.
standard, and
Mm-hmm.
gold. Okay.
Okay.
This is your task. Explore all these objects, and there will be a validation on that. The
Mm-hmm.
validation will be to make sure if this they are premium user, right?
Mm-hmm.
There should be a checkbox, right? That checkbox marked as true. Let me know if it is enough. Explore the object first, okay? I want
Yeah,
to do
yeah.
that.
And I will try to create a flow as well. And
Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah, because these kind of fields, I have some idea in other cloud,
Mhm.
which is Commerce Cloud, because we can create at user level, product level, catalog level, these kind of fields. So it's more of like same concept, but yes, the flow is different for me. Permission set is different. Validation rules are different for me. So it's worth of trying this.
Yeah. So try to create that B2B user object, right?
Okay.
And fill all those values.
Mm-hmm.
We'll connect tomorrow. Tomorrow we
Okay.
will setting up enabling our commerce, right?
Mm-hmm.
On
Okay.
our org. We'll
Okay.
creating a new org scratch org, and we will be following up with the commerce setup,
Okay.
and then we will be making our store,
Mm-hmm.
going through permission sets, as
Okay.
so all those things, right?
Okay, perfect.
For now, yeah,
I will create my, I will complete the assignment today, and I will show
yeah,
you in tomorrow lecture in start.
sure, sure.
The only thing I wanted to know that this is the only lecture that we are just touching the admin, and from tomorrow we will be on the
Yeah,
B2B commerce. Okay,
right.
so
From tomorrow on
some of my
commerce.
if you have like just 2-3 minutes, I have some quick questions.
Mhm.
Will we be learning Apex as well?
No, Apex is not part of this
Okay.
training. Apex
Okay.
is something different because we have to start from a basic. Are you aware of any basic programming?
Yeah, yeah, I'm a backend developer having like 8-9 years of experience.
Oh, so Java, are you aware of?
I've been doing JavaScript from a lot of time. C sharp. I did some projects in Java in my university time back in like
Mhm.
2013.
Mhm.
So I I believe it will not be hard enough because there is OOP concept, object oriented programming
Yeah,
concept.
that,
There are some
fine.
classes
So,
in.
what I'll do, I'll test the Apex basics, so you'll understand that.
Okay. So
That is not tough if you have Java experience.
okay, okay. And one more thing, when we talk about the B2B commerce,
Mm-hmm.
so uh, we will be like I'm very much interested in learning the request flow, how the things are being actually been changed, like how the request is coming into the controller and how the data is being passed to the front end. So we will be
Oh,
covering this stuff, right?
no worries. So, we will covering the visual force as part of this training. Uh,
Okay.
I'll tell you the controller and all those things.
Mm-hmm.
That will be a touch up, not a explained info, because commerce itself is a very big part, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when we will creating, let's say products, email, I'll tell you how to create email templates and all
Mm-hmm.
those things.
Mm-hmm.
We will be touching the visual force controller, how that works. We will
Mm-hmm.
schedule a lecture on visual force only.
Okay.
Or
So
we can make 2 or 3 lectures on Visual Force, Apex, and little bit Lighting Web Component, right?
that will be really great because
Yeah.
I'm actually joining a B2B commerce team as a backend developer. So my
Mhm.
role will be different than just configuration stuff. So I think you're getting my point that I'll
I
be
understand.
a
Yeah.
coding heavy guy in the team. So that's why I'm bringing this topic right now.
Okay. So no
Okay.
worries. I will be going through that.
Okay, great. So I think we're
Yeah.
done for today.
Yeah. And if you require, we can go another half an hour in next lecture on the admin.
Mm-hmm.
So before we going to commerce installation, there are a lot of things changed, right? Since the Salesforce launched this Einstein AI, right? They
Yeah.
have continuously changing the flow of development of commerce. So a lot
Mm-hmm.
of change has been gone through,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of things change as it was previously when we would used to do commerce. Right now, we have inbuilt apps, right? We can just go and click, and it will be created automatically. So I
Okay.
don't want to follow those paths. I will be
Mm.
going through step by step, so
Okay.
you will know how the process work, right?
Okay.
And so yeah, so some of things will be mashed up maybe, so we
Okay.
need to explore together. Hey, these things can be do can we can
Okay.
do it by AI, but
Okay.
instead we are doing a step by step way, right? So
Okay. Sounds
once you
great.
learn the step by step, you can easily go to AI things and hey, click on button and it will be generating the store, right?
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Do we have any some kind of a course outline that how we are actually step by step following it, or are you okay with it? Like you, I know you're a
I
very senior guy and you know your stuff. Just for
Yeah.
the clarification that how we are actually touching step by step. Like today we touched the admin part at a
Mhm.
very introductory level, and
Right.
yeah, that's what I'm asking. Is it possible we can have a course outline or something? Is it already been there?
So I do have a course outline. Actually, one by one, I used to
Mm.
create a course outline based on AI, right?
Okay.
Currently, I have a course outline. I will be sharing with you our team, and they will be shared with you, right? They
Mm-hmm.
will be sharing with you. Mostly, we will be continuously tell you what we will going to talk about next 3 to 4 lectures, right?
Okay. Okay.
So as today we talk about admin, and tomorrow maybe 30 minutes of admin, and we will go deep dive into commerce. Starting enablement is itself big task. There is a
Okay.
lot of settings we have to do in our configuration part, right?
Okay.
So that will take 40 to 45 minutes, maybe an hour.
Okay.
So yeah, so we'll go through one by one and tell you that from tomorrow for the next 3 to 4 lecture,
Mm-hmm.
we will be enabling the commerce, adding the products, and creating all the configuration parts, right?
Okay.
So we can use those things in our store.